Good morning. We are going to call the meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me for a prayer. Heavenly Father, we beseech your divine guidance in this meeting. Keep us ever mindful of our obligation. Grant us, dear Lord, wisdom, tolerance, and courage that we may well serve our county and fulfill our trust. Amen.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the September 19th meeting.
I'll second the motion.
Motion second. That was the September 9th meeting, I believe.
Oh, excuse me, 9.
meeting.
I don't have my glasses on.
Discussion, comments, or changes? Roll call, please.
Sweattick,
Abstain.
Hambley.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes. And next we have a proclamation. And this is a proclamation 250700 recognizing the month of September as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Whereas it has come to the attention of the Board of Medina County Commissioners that suicide is a serious but preventable public health concern that affects individuals, families, and communities across Medina County, the state of Ohio, and the nation. Whereas each year Ohio loses over 1,792 of our citizens due to death by suicide, and that each person's death by suicide impacts at least 6 other people, with over 250,000 newly bereaved each year in the United States. Whereas since 2008, September has been recognized nationally as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, a time to raise awareness, decrease stigma, share resources, and foster a community united in the belief that suicide is preventable. Whereas this year's theme, Together in Strength, Dignity, Hope, and Purpose, encourages us to prevent suicide by understanding risks and warning signs, embracing treatment, hope, and resilience, building community partnerships and support, improving care and outcomes for people at risk for suicide, and by promoting dignity through connection, including uplifting the voices of those with lived experiences to reduce stigma and create a healing environment where people feel heard, respected, and empowered. Whereas a strong community infrastructure is essential for saving lives, which requires local partnerships and initiatives such as the Medina County Coalition for Suicide Prevention, the Medina County Health and Recovery Board, and other local agencies such as Alternative Paths, Catholic Charities of Medina County, Ohio Guidestone, and Hope Recovery Community, who are dedicated to raising awareness, eliminating stigma, providing hope, support, advocacy, and resources to prevent suicide. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Medina County, Ohio, that the month of September is declared as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and we urge all citizens to join us in observance by learning the warning signs of suicide, promoting messages of hope and healing, and supporting the vital work of our prevention organizations.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second the motion.
Motion, second, discussion. We have Philip Titterington, Devin Alphen, Taylor Volivar, and Diana Meslovich from Alternative Paths. Philip from Mental Health and Recovery Board, and the others from Alternative Paths. So after we vote, if you guys would come up and we could present this to you. Roll call, please.
Sweattick.
Yes.
Hambley.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
And we have Tiffany.
And Tiffany's here. I was looking at my list. I'm sorry, Tiffany. I looked right past you. I was too busy worrying about I was butchering everybody else's names. Sorry about that. Thanks for being here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Where do we go?
Just come over, swing in so we can kind of all fit here. We'll just say the size individuals over here. You can come over.
Yeah.
There you go. That'll work.
That's perfect. More balanced.
We're balanced. Very good. Thanks.
Somebody want to say a few words? You can say a few words? Thanks.
She's good at it.
It'll be quick.
Thank you for the proclamation. Thank you for the recognition. As you heard in the proclamation, it is preventable. Suicides are preventable. And we're very thankful in this county that we have the coalition, we have the agencies that put their heart and souls in it. What I ask of all of you is just recognize that mental illness and suicide, is a disease. It is preventable, and get involved. Understand the warning signs. Take that initiative. reach out to not only the Mental Health Board, you can also reach out to Alternative Paths and the Suicide Coalition, because there's trainings that are available that help you and assist you in identifying the warning signs. Because sometimes it's just you identify that warning sign, and that little interaction's all it needs for that individual to change the course of their lives and the lives that they touch. So we're proud to be here at least today to recognize and to show the collaboration and the partnerships, because this is a sad situation, and we're going to do all we can to continue it. Also, just a little note, on Saturday, September 20th, is the annual Stepping Up to Prevent Suicide. Sunday. Did I say, oh, there's another thing on Saturday. Thank you, Gail. Sunday at noon at the Medina gazebo there is the annual Stepping Up to Prevent Suicide event, and you're all welcome to attend. It's very powerful. We appreciate you putting it together. And once again, thank you for this proclamation.
Thank you. And next up is public comment regarding pending resolutions. Is there any public comment regarding pending resolutions? Seeing none, we'll move on to resolutions. First up, we have Andy Conrad, the county engineer here.
Good morning.
Good morning, Andy.
I have three resolutions for your consideration this morning. The first being the closing a Seville Road for a culvert replacement. The second is approving a final change order for a paint striping contract. And the third being a change order for our motor pave and chip seal contract.
I'll make a motion to approve the three resolutions.
Second the motion.
Motion second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Next up, sanitary engineer Jeremy Cinco. Morning, Jeremy.
Morning, everyone. Two resolutions for consideration today. The first is authorizing a memorandum of understanding with the City of Medina to replace the existing sanitary sewer located in Blake Avenue as part of the city's Blake Avenue reconstruction project. And the second is authorizing a memorandum of understanding with the City of Medina to replace the existing sanitary sewer located in North Huntington Street as part of the city's North Huntington Street relocation Phase 3 project.
I'll make a motion to approve the two resolutions.
I will second the motion.
Motion second, is there any discussion? Questions? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jeremy. Next up is Holly Murin from HR. Morning, Holly.
Good morning. On our personnel changes resolution today, we have 2 new hires, 1 in sanitary and 1 in maintenance, 2 promotions in maintenance, 2 rate increases, 1 in sanitary and 1 at Job and Family Services, and 2 leave of absence, 1 in maintenance and 1 in Job and Family Services.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second the motion.
Motion second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Brett Thomas from Finance.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, Brett.
I have 7 resolutions for you today. The first one is expenditure adjustments for various funds. This is a sanitary item that came out of the wrong fund. Our second resolution is a revenue adjustment for various funds. This is also a sanitary item that needed to move deposit. Our third resolution is authorizing the auditor to transfer for the print shop revenue line. That is $2,406.52 for the month of August. Our fourth resolution is authorizing submission for the application for the Department of Youth Services capital grant. This is for the Juvenile Detention Center. The amount of the project, since this is a capital grant, is right around $430,000, and we will need to pay 40% local match. So they wanted to make sure that we had that on our radar for approval. Our fifth resolution is authorizing the purchase of 7,400 gallons of unleaded gasoline for the engineering center. As usual, Ports Petroleum came in with our low bid at $1.99 per gallon. Our sixth resolution is expenses of county officials, nothing out of state this week. And our seventh and final resolution is our weekly bills in the amount of $2,082,836.36.
I'll make a motion to approve the 7 resolutions.
Second the motion.
Motion second, any discussion or questions? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Commissioner.
Brett. Next up, Matt Springer, County Administrator.
Good morning.
Hey, Matt.
I have 2 resolutions. The first one is approval to participate in the 2025 direct settlement of the Purdue Pharma. This is a class action lawsuit and will authorize our prosecutor's office to file all the necessary paperwork to participate. And then second resolution is authorizing the administrator to negotiate a new contract. This would be through Archer Energy for our new gas aggregation contract.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2 resolutions.
Second the motion.
Motion second, any discussion? I had mentioned to Brian, I think we've talked about the gas aggregation, and we'll have some information on the website. I had suggested one thing to add where we put that information that might be helpful is the excerpt from last week's meeting where community energy advisors kind of got into the details on it. So Brian said he's able to put that up on the website for us.
Oh, good.
So I think that'll be helpful.
I really wouldn't mind also, like, to the entities, the townships and villages, a letter even going out with what we've done here. I think it would be good to have, on their radar for their residents.
We'll proactively work forward on the communication rollout of this.
Great.
So,
Okay,
absolutely.
good, great.
Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks.
Next up is department updates. We have Richard Nelson here from the building department.
Morning, everybody.
Morning, Richard.
Morning.
Building Department report for August. Value of construction is gaining on last year's numbers. Now we're just 5% below last year at this time of the year. Moving on to home costs, big increase in new homes in August. There were many large homes, expensive homes, $1 million plus homes. So the average for the month was 654,000 and brings the year-to-date up to 457,000. Last month it was 435. So that's a pretty big jump. And then part of that averaging, there was only 26 new homes in August. That was essentially 7 less than average. And so that makes those bigger expensive homes, that makes the ratio that much higher. Interesting, 4 of those 26 new homes are in Wadsworth City. Moving on to page 2, our monthly receipts for August, 14% higher than last August. And page 3, our year-to-date receipts now are just 3% behind last year at this time. Like I say, we're kind of gaining on last year's numbers. Page 4, residential permits by townships and villages and Wadsworth City. And page 5, commercial permits issued also by townships and villages. And last page 6 lists all the commercial construction issued in August. It's a pretty healthy number. $3 million in estimated value of those projects. Other than that, our review times remain good. 3 to 5 days for residential, about 21 days for commercial. So we're hanging in there pretty good.
Excellent.
Good, good.
That's all I have.
Questions?
Nope, great.
Thanks for the
Thank
update,
you.
Richard.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. We also have Ben Nall here from EMA.
Good morning.
Morning, Ben.
So the EMA report for the past 3 months.
Thank you.
First off, trainings, the list of all the trainings we've completed around the county. So year-to-date, we're at 65. A few of the notable ones on there. The Amish Safety Day that was down in Homer Township had probably about 300 Amish came and learned about all kinds of different safety things. So we specifically were doing water safety. We did a dive demo, an ROV demo, and just talking about not driving through the water, stay off the ice, all those types of things. A hazmat for dispatchers class that had great turnout from dispatchers from all the dispatch centers in the county. Just kind of learning about the hazmat lingo and what to ask when they take a 911 call for some type of a hazmat incident. And the confined space technician class, that's a certification class that's going on right now. Just certifying a few people on the rope team as a confined space technician. Projects, I'm still working on the radio tower project with the sheriff's office. That's well underway, completion around the end of October still. The mitigation plan, I believe we talked about that last meeting, but that's been approved by FEMA now, so that's completely done. Received the FEMA stamp of approval. The hazardous materials flow study, that's another planning project that's complete. As part of the hazmat plan, we're required to survey the transportation of hazardous materials that go through the county, both by rail and truck. So that was a grant-funded project that we've been working on. Really, the last few weeks has been the primary part of it. Literally going out around the county and creating a flow study on what travels through the county. The COOP planning, we're still working with Matt and Dawn and the county departments on continuity of operations planning for all the departments. And the Seven Springs Lake Dam mitigation project, we talked about that probably about a year ago. That's been on hold ever since then. That's now moving forward again. We got notification that FEMA's going to move forward on those. So they anticipate that this will be an awarded project.
Good.
Incidents, year to date 52, so you got the list. All the incidents for the past 3 months listed there. I did look back at just, where we're at this year compared to other years. So it has gone up. 2024, we had a total of 56 for the year. 2023, we got a total of 44. So year to date, we're already at 52 this year. And towards the end of the year is always busier with structure fires anyway, people start heating and stuff. So I think it's there is more incidents going on, a few more than normal, plus the teams are being utilized more this year than they have in the past. And also every single team has been dispatched in the last 3 months on that list, which is that's notable. Current grants, Homeland Security grant is the radio tower project. The hazard materials planning grant, that's the flow study on the payroll for that. The brick grant has been closed out. That was for the mitigation plan. The fiscal year 24 EMPG, that's what pays our payroll to do all the emergency management activities. So that will be coming out again for next year. We've been notified. That was approved. The state has those right now. So they should be trickled down to the locals here soon for the 2026 grant funds. And the planning grant is just a few of the hazmat classes, and we've received the LEPC grant for next year that funds the LEPC program. Then you have a list of the team members. Really, not too many significant changes for the numbers. So, any questions?
The FEMA funding, the payroll funding, right, was
Yep.
FEMA? Was that the one that was delayed substantially
That was
last
delayed.
year?
Well,
Okay.
this year was delayed months.
Okay.
Too. I mean,
So it's
we
ahead
would
of
have had the
schedule.
reward by now normally.
Yeah.
So it's way behind schedule, but they did release the funding to the states.
Gotcha,
so.
okay. And then the other question, you said every team has been deployed, which is, probably cuts both ways, right? It's good we have those resources,
Yeah.
but, you want to have them and maybe not need them. Are there situations that require assistance or any discussion of, teams that we don't have that if we were to expand that we would include in the future? Or I know we haven't had that discussion at the board level. I was just curious.
Yeah, the one we're still talking about is what we do about the animal responses. So that's new, and we're not really sure which way to go on that yet.
Right.
You'll see there's another horse rescue that's listed
Yeah.
on there. That's something we've
Right.
never done before.
Right.
And
And
it all
this
has
the
a team-
third or the fourth this year?
Fourth, I believe.
Yeah.
Fourth?
Yeah, so being that that's a new thing that they're calling the rope team for, and kind of now people know we have that capability, just how do we build on that is
Right.
one of the big discussions.
So it may
But
not be a team, but a new team, but or a different
maybe
team, but a
training within the rope
subspecialty.
team or something, yeah.
Great. Appreciate your continued work. Any other questions?
No,
Nope.
thank you.
Yep.
Thanks a
Very
lot.
good.
Look forward to
Thanks.
hearing the report again tomorrow, at the board meeting. Thanks, Ben. Next up, we have a few commissioners' resolutions today. We're actually appointing individuals to various commissions, so I'm gonna cover each of them, and then we can take action on them at once if that's acceptable to
Sure.
everybody. Normally, we do these one at a time, but since they're all appointments. The first is appointing a representative to the Ohio Children's Trust Fund, a Northeast Ohio Regional Prevention Council. This is due to the resignation of Ashley Kraus as the Children's Center director. Unfortunately, Ashley, anybody who knows her knows she's done a great job, but she's moving to, her family's moving to Pittsburgh, which is even more unfortunate, actually, if you
it
have to
is.
think about it. But she's going to be replaced on that by the Development and Outreach Coordinator, Kristen Minicello, who does a great job, and I'm sure she'll continue in that role, too. Also, we have, our second one is appointing and reappointing members to the Medina County Revolving Loan Fund Committee. This appoints or reappoints various individuals, including Debbie Kiley as the low and moderate income segment representative, Keith Hughes as the finance accounting representative, Matthew Springer as the Board of Commissioners representative, Brett Thomas as the county administration's representative, Jesse Beal as the private business representative, Jeffrey Banyas as a legal representative, and John Gilbert as a bank representative. And lastly, we're appointing Carol Carter and James Dahl, or reappointing the two of them to the Medina County Advisory Council on Aging and Disability.
I think we have one more.
There's one more.
There is one more, too, which I noticed all by myself. This is reappointing members to the Medina County Volunteer Peace Officers Dependents Fund Board with Kenneth Baca and Frederick Geisman to be reappointed to continue their service to the Peace Officer Dependents Fund Board.
I'll make a motion to approve the 4 resolutions.
I will second the motion.
Motion second, any discussion? Thank you. We have a lot of appointments that we do, and there'll be more as the year goes on, but I always appreciate the people who are willing to serve in those capacities too for us, so.
I just want to point out, these are volunteer positions.
Yes.
Actually, they're not being paid to do that, just demonstrates a lot of government. The activity is done by volunteers.
Yep.
Yes.
So we appreciate their service. Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. And that takes us into public comment. Is anyone from the public here to comment? Yes, we've got one. So what I'm going to ask you to do is come up to the podium, give us your name and your name and your address, and then share your comments. You have a 5-minute opportunity to speak once you've identified yourself.
My name's Doug Mays. I live at 6279 Hooper Drive, Medina, Ohio, in Dover Highlands. What I'm here today is to talk to you folks about there's a reoccurring issue that's going on throughout our communities, especially around Medina right now, and I understand other places too. But these fiber companies keep coming into our neighborhoods and digging everything up. They're using easement allowances from years ago, 20 years ago, saying that they have the right to do these things. I don't think anybody, when they granted these easements 20 years ago, had any idea what was the future, what was going to happen. And I'm wondering, could you do anything to help us on this? Because we're trying to get a limit to this. This is the 3rd time in the last 4 years that we have another company coming in and digging up our neighborhoods. 3 or 4 years ago, our township trustee came to our HOA meeting and announced that, hey, there's going to be a choice for you for cable. And everybody, oh, okay, everybody's okay for choice. But nobody realized at the time that this meant digging up the neighborhoods. And it's also a safety issue. They've hit gas lines, electric lines. They didn't even tell people where they hit their gas lines. And they didn't even know there was a problem until they saw the fire department trucks and the gas companies and everybody out there scrambling to fix it. And these companies just keep coming in. And I've called every state agency that I can think of, local agency. Mr. Springer's helped me on some of the things that I've called you folks, and he's kind of taken the lead, and he's helped me find out some information. But what I want to know is, can any of this stuff be mitigated? I mean, they just keep coming in, and this is the 3rd time in the last 4 years. And we've already been told there's at least 2 more that's going to come in, keep coming in. And what I'd like to know is, how many choices do we need? How many times they're going to run out of room in these easements? They just keep coming farther and farther in our yards. And I know in our neighborhood, most of the people in our neighborhoods work very hard, spend a lot of money on their yards and keeping up their places. And we just feel helpless. They come in, just dig everything up. They get done, and now it sounds like there's going to be another one. They just keep coming in. And I was also told, no, I don't have any paperwork to verify this, but just like your gas and electric companies. You can choose your suppliers. You could actually do the same thing with these fiber companies, but they don't want to pay to lease the other lines that are already existing. So we're just kind of held hostage to this whole process. And people are getting very frustrated. I can tell you with confidence that almost 100% of the people, put it this way, if you put it on a ballot or an issue, people would say enough's enough.
Yep.
And we're tired of this. You know, you have satellite choices. There's all kinds of choices, and people are just they're tired of having their yards and their property. They feel like I own it and I'm paying taxes on it, but I have no say over it.
Right.
And I was wondering if you could say or do anything. Representative Sharon Ray was helpful. She's guided me to the PUC. Everybody thinks to go to the state PUC. Guess what? They said, oh, we don't have anything to do with that. I said, but you're the Public Utilities Commission. I said, yeah, but we don't really have anything to do with that public utility. That's the way they keep coming in. They say, oh, we're a public utility. Most people consider public utilities gas, water, electric, all these things, not these fiber companies. You have to have those to live. You don't have to have a fiber company. And I'd just like to know if anything can be done. It was also brought up at the Lafayette Township trustee meeting last night. There's a little known law on the books that I didn't know about until last night, that there's a one dig law that can be enacted by any local entity for a case such as this. It's like people were just tired, like, hey, how many times are you going to dig our neighborhoods up? I don't know if that could be checked into. I don't have anything.
That's the first I've ever heard that there is that.
There'll be another lady possibly that might speak. She brought it to my attention too. She found it.
Is it statutory, or is it one that's under like municipalities? Municipalities might under home rule have that kind of authority.
Municipalities, right.
Like a city.
Yeah, but the townships are not municipalities. So a home rule municipality could probably do that.
I think the language they said last night was municipalities or any local entity. I don't know.
Okay, and I would suspect that just only for those that are like us that have municipalities have home rule could do it. But
do they come
by
to
statute? I'll just say we don't have the regulatory authority, the legislative authority, or the legal authority in those circumstances with the companies. I mean, you're right. Whenever obviously the county's been supportive of the lit fiber in developing projects and expanding choices throughout the county, but now we're getting to for some communities 3, or even as you indicate maybe even 4. I'm still living in a community where I still have copper, and I don't have any choice on fiber. So even though it's on a main thoroughfare. So they look for return on investment, and it's up to them. And unfortunately, state government does have the authority if they wanted to. They just, I'll just say the General Assembly has not given it to the PUC.
See, this is the problem. You're saying everybody I've talked to, whether on the state level, PUC, everybody says, well, it's really not our authority. It goes to that. I've called people at the state. They say, "Oh, it's the local authority." They say, "Go to your county commissioners. They have authority." And
Could they point to the statute that gives us the authority?
Nobody points to anything. We just keep getting the runaround and don't come up with any answers. Do they come to you, these fiber companies? I was told they have to come to you for approval.
No,
they
they
do not.
They don't have the I think that right of
Well, we
way.
can do the right of way.
Yeah.
Road wide, and that's it, though.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they have in our neighborhood. They have crossed our
Correct,
roads.
yeah, but we can only govern that part that goes under the road. That's it. We can't, when it comes to private easements.
Paralleling the private easement, we don't.
Yeah, private easements, we don't have the authority. It's private.
I've been sent to the engineers department. I've been sent to you guys. I've been sent. Mr. Springer kind of got caught up in a little bit in this because he was actually. I asked him questions that he didn't have the answers for, but he did try to find them for me.
And unfortunately, we are at our 5 minutes time here, but
Okay.
I will say the problem is exactly as you've identified. There isn't a single entity that has the ability to say yay or nay on more fiber, and I do think we're getting to the point where it's been saturated in the market, and I live in Montville, having similar issues there too. So if we had a magic lever to pull to make it stop, we would have done it a while ago.
And I'll
in my
just
opinion.
share with you My concern is the General Assembly, the state of Ohio, is subsidizing this behavior.
Yeah.
They're using tax dollars to subsidize that without any requirements.
And that's part of the problem too, because
that's part of the problem.
there's
They've
an
incentivized.
That's part of the problem,
Yeah.
and nobody
They've been
wants to take any.
Well, they've got very powerful lobbyists down there, you might have heard.
Right.
Thank you for your time.
Okay,
And yeah, sorry we don't have better answers too, but I appreciate you coming to share.
Okay, maybe I can get answers, maybe we can go to the state
Yeah,
and talk, I don't know. But everybody just kind of keeps passing it off.
right, right. If we had the authority to do it, I think we would have, but,
It's also a safety issue.
right, right.
Oh, okay.
Was there another person who wanted to speak? Did you want to speak today? You're welcome to. You certainly don't need to, but you're welcome to. And remember just your name and address, and then you'll have 5 minutes.
Okay, my name is Kelly Wood. I live at 6136 Tyndale Way in Dover Highlands. I did find this on the computer last night. It's a Dig One policy. It's a policy though.
Oh.
And it says you can, I haven't had time to do this, you can consult the Ohio Revised Code, but it does specifically speak about fiber optic infrastructure. As far as my personal experience with this is, in front of my house, there is a major gas line that runs in front of my house. If they were to cut that or do any damage to that at all, there would be major issues because it is a gas line. It runs in the front of the house, it runs to the side and goes to the back. From what I understand, it's like a 4-inch line. You see on the news lots of times where houses just explode, and it's not all houses that are exploding for this reason, but I remember that there was a whole neighborhood that had house after house exploded because they did cut a major line. So it's, for me, it's a safety issue. There's a lot of children that live in that area. I don't want damage to my house. It's more than just digging the grass and making the grass not be the same kind of grass or the landscape the same. It's more of a very much a safety issue. And a lot of times they'll cut a line, they just cover it up, and then they don't take responsibility for it. And I've heard from other people that sometimes they just cover it up and it's the homeowner that smells the gas and calls the gas company out. In our neighborhood, we really did have a gas line that did get cut. They didn't evacuate the house. They didn't even alarm the homeowner that the line was cut. Safety, my big thing is the safety. I would hate for anybody to get hurt because of all this digging. It's got to stop.
Is that an extra copy of that? Or
Yes,
yeah, I'd be happy to take it. Yep. Thank you very much.
You're
Take a
welcome.
look at it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Is there any other public comment? Seeing none, we will move on to discussion session. There's a couple folks in the room. Anything from the auditor's office today? No? I know you folks are here for executive session, I believe. And executive, right? Okay. I will mention, we had, last week during public comment, we had a lot of folks here regarding the ICE detainee question, which I think has impacted a couple, maybe 2 or 3 counties across the state of Ohio where they've accepted ICE detainees. There were some follow-up emails and things that we received this week, so I wanted to make sure that we addressed that this week. Obviously, having heard the comments and being sensitive to everybody's opinions on the matter, they proposed a resolution for us to adopt as a Board of Commissioners. At this time, we're not, I don't have any plans, I guess if either of the two of you have another thought, but I don't have any plans on taking action on that. Talk to the sheriff. There isn't any imminent discussions over any detainees being housed in our county jail. It feels like the resolution itself would be more advisory anyway, because ultimately, the sheriff would be the one who would make that decision. And I'm not going to speak for him, but in our discussion, I don't get the sense that that's anywhere in the plans right now. So I thought back to, there was some discussion years ago before I was on the board. I think, Colleen, you were here still. Steve, you may have been in the legislature at the time, but some discussion about having Medina County declared a sanctuary, Second Amendment sanctuary. And I think ultimately the board decided not to act on that one as well. And it's very similar, I think, not in terms of the issue that's discussed, but it's similar in the sense of taking kind of an advisory action, to me, is if it doesn't have teeth or if it's not something that's in the purview of our responsibility, I don't think there's a lot of sense to do it, regardless of our feelings on the matter. So that's my position here. I don't know if either of you have any opposition to
I
that,
agree.
but
I agree.
okay.
Yeah.
So with that, anything else for discussion? Colleen, welcome back, by the way.
Thank you. Anybody else? Discussion's over?
No, if I could. Oh, yeah.
I was going to start with you.
Oh,
The
I
discussion-
thought you were
Oh, okay.
making, having me move on to the next. No, I'm good.
You're good. Nothing to discuss. Steve, anything
Yeah,
for
I
discussion?
wanted to
Thank
talk
you.
about, we brought this up a couple weeks ago and then waiting for Colleen regarding county property tax relief options. I had shared with you the CAB, the County Advisory Bulletin that they had just issued last week, outlining some of those options. I think it was a very good, certainly description of it, what we can do. When I've talked with Cheryl Subler with the CCAO, several counties have already done rollbacks on the inside millage. There's one or two that are actually considering the other local permissive options, the local homestead exemption, creating that program, as well as local owner occupancy credits. They're considering it, whether they're going to enact it. Nobody's enacted it yet. They still have some time because the effective bill wasn't in, I think, until September 30th, and then, of course, you have till the end of October, as I understand, to take those actions. So there's a number of counties considering that. The other ones that are considering it, likewise, are looking just at their inside millage. And I'd propose, and I'd received a call, I'll just say, in a meeting with one of our local school districts, concerned based on the newspaper report whether we were going to look at the local homestead exemption as well as the local owner occupancy credits. And as I understand it, and CAB, I think, points it out very clearly, that should we do something like that, that actually impacts their collections significantly without any compensation, any state reimbursement. They would, and obviously the county technically doesn't have the ability to reimburse them, so they would lose it. And frankly, that is those two options I would not consider as viable. And I would hope that maybe next week, if we could have the opportunity and discussion session to talk about the one that still is, I think, viable, at least for discussion, the inside millage. Since we're getting an estimated $3.5 million in addition next year, I think it'd be good to take a look and say, well, what does our planned expenses, or what are the expenses we know that we're going to have to afford? Now's the time to look at that. I know we've deferred a lot of projects and a lot of county initiatives to the time that we have those revenues, and we know we've got some incoming expenses that are being shoved. I'll just say sent from the state of Ohio that basically are coming to us for funding job and family services, indigent defense. There's a long list of state expenses that they're going to impose upon us that we ought to consider what we're going to do. And so I think if it's all right, we end up discussing that. I've asked Brett and Matt to kind of, as maybe even Stephen, to put a list together of what those anticipated expenses, major expenses, will be next year.
Yeah, I think that's a good next step. In terms of having a discussion on the inside millage part of it, next week is fine. I wonder if it warrants at least some consideration of, if we were to take some of the other approaches, how we could go about it. Because I tend to agree with you. If we're making decisions on homestead exemption that has other implications to it, I wouldn't be inclined to do that without an opportunity for those other organizations to participate in the discussion.
Yeah.
but the timelines are so short too.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
it's so we're juggling that. I guess the only thing of what you just said that I'm even just a little bit uncomfortable with is just I don't want to foreclose that possibility
Okay,
too.
right. We'd almost have to have every
Right.
taxing entity say, all right, we're willing to go ahead and take a cut
Right.
next
Well,
year. And I can't imagine even the voted levies.
Right, and I think
Yeah.
the only reason I say I don't want to foreclose that possibility is because I don't want to get around the table and then realize we're the ones that are stepping up to take the haircut.
Yeah.
And tightening our belts and our other partners who
I-
are all at the same mercy of the voters, what the voters ultimately decide to do with property tax, aren't making similar
But
concessions.
every
so.
one of those tax authorities that receive inside millage can
Yeah.
roll back.
Yeah.
They still can. And I know that's what the school district, that's why they were instructed to talk to us and say
Right.
what we're doing, because they could actually do that themselves.
Yeah.
Cloverleaf, as you know, has decided to do that.
Yep.
So there are other school districts, should they have sufficient carryover, or in terms of their revenue coming in, they could do that themselves.
Right.
So everybody, I guess, could evaluate their own finances. But I just don't want to presume I know how a school district's finances are, or
And I-
anybody else that's receiving that
Right.
inside
And I-
millage, or
and I
even
agree.
any of the townships that are
Right.
getting inside millage.
I agree with that too, and I think I think the only reason I say I don't want to foreclose the possibility is because if we become the ones who do this first, and it starts a trend of everybody else doing it responsibly and what works for their budgets, that's how it should work. If we do this first
Yeah.
and everybody else sits idly by and lets us make sacrifices and they don't, that's going to suggest that maybe, because
I agree.
some of these other more extreme measures might be in the offing in the
Well,
future if those things.
Obviously,
Don't happen.
reducing inside millage is a lot broader than the targeted ones for the homeowner, as well as the homestead exemption. Those
Right.
are targeted.
Right.
Whereas it's broader if we would do the inside, that affects businesses too.
Yep.
Whereas the homeowner credit doesn't.
But you also have to look at it too from a perspective of where the relief is most needed. I think it's in the senior community
Yes.
and those folks who are having the most struggle paying their increased tax bills now that the
Well,
new valuations. have
I
come
just
out.
wish that the legislature had seen fit to target
Yep. Yep.
their approach when they were doing the budget.
Right. It's not unlike the discussion we were just having about our
Yeah.
hands being somewhat tied by legislation, which is
Yeah.
a constant feature of local government.
And then I sent you the recent list of what the working group
Yes.
is looking at. I'm not sure it really deals significantly with the issues that we're facing.
Right.
And all of the working list, I'm sure it was a lot of hard work to get to that list.
Yeah.
It doesn't help our senior citizens on a fixed income who just recently got
Minimal help.
a hike in their reappraised value.
Yep. That's all I had.
So next week, we will have a
Well,
more
yeah.
robust discussion
If
on
that's
that.
all right,
Matt, does
Matt,
that work
Brett?
for you?
Okay, good.
And certainly if the auditor or treasurer, even
Yeah.
if the prosecutor's office wants to have
Well-
representation because of the budget commission component of all this, I don't know how that all.
I think too, that obviously any of the elected officials that are
Mm-hmm.
interested in that conversation, because we'll be looking to them to basically make sure in their next budget requests that are coming up.
That they're
we-
tightening.
That they're tightening, that we hold it flat as much as possible. That's what any of the, I'll just say in the grant agencies that have relied upon us, that's been my guidance,
Yeah.
hold it flat. Don't ask for more.
Yep.
Even if you need it,
And
we've got to
because-
hold it flat.
Because when the people found out, in the last couple of weeks, their new values and looked at their budgets,
Yeah.
we really do have to consider flat next year.
Yep.
To be,
As much as
understand
possible.
what our residents are going through with the new values. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Okay, that sounds good. And I don't have anything else to discuss today that we haven't already discussed, so I will entertain a motion.
I will make a motion to go into executive session to discuss imminent court action.
I believe it needs to be imminent and pending, because we already have one.
To
is
discuss.
Imminent
actual
and
lawsuit.
pending, and Mike Lyons is nodding his head, so.
Okay,
Yeah,
pending wasn't here.
okay. Second the motion.
So your motion is for imminent and pending?
Yes.
We have a second. Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. Thank you. We will adjourn from executive session, so we will see everybody next week.
Yeah, the one we.